a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.
Oh, you're wrapping it up for those who will just be
YouTube,
watching after
yeah.
the fact. I got you. Yeah, Pat's been basically making this, putting this in a podcast format so that folks, let me make sure can watch after the fact.
After.
Yeah, but my controller is like, there we go.
Hey, Pat, can I just say real quick, your green screen game was actually on point. I honestly thought you two were in the same room. Like, maybe now that I can see it, obviously the focal lengths for your two cameras are kind of different or whatever, but I thought you guys were in the same room before your green screen fell over.
Good, that means it works.
No one noticed until I was dumb and I tripped on myself.
On his green screen.
But
yeah.
I was telling Dave I need to get a cover for my chair, like a green cover, because I'm sitting on my green screen right now, and that's what happened. Is I got up because I'm basically just sitting on my green screen to cover up the chair underneath it.
Yeah, you got to get something to throw over the back of the chair. But yeah,
I'll pick up some green stuff at Walmart or whatever later on.
I'm glad to hear you say that the illusion at least works a little bit. I wish that Pat and I were in the same room. One day we will be. We're kind of in different states, and it's like
PRG 2021-22, baby.
We do kind of, yeah. That's the plan. If that doesn't get canceled, I hope it doesn't. Crossing my fingers here, but yeah, definitely we want to hook up at PRGE, and hopefully maybe Peter can come down again, or Ben,
and we can get this all set up in their hotel room. Get a giant green screen up.
We can have an actual couch. The gaming session.
Bed.
But yeah, that's the general idea. Is I just kind of wanted to create the aesthetic that even though we're separate, we're together, and that we're able to talk about this stuff together. So yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, here's this new game. Well, here's this old new game.
Oldish, newish game.
It's called The Last Dynasty. This was a Sierra online game. This is a PC game released in the West and in Europe. It was released in the United States, and North America, and in Europe. And not sure if it was released in Japan. I don't think so. There's this one was developed by Cocktail Vision. It was just recently dumped. Maybe it wasn't met with like Pat said, maybe it wasn't met with that much, fanfare because it's a Saturn game, and I guess a lot of people just don't care. But I think it's news. I think it's great news, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to stream it since it's very timely. Since we all just found out about it yesterday. So I'm gonna play the introduction.
We're gonna encourage Dave to play some Wing Commander next.
Can people watching the stream? Can you guys hear the game audio, or do I need to turn it up?
Look in the chat.
The Discord, so it's on there.
All right, I'm gonna turn up the game audio just a bit so that folks can hear, and I'm gonna play the introduction to this game so that we're all just seeing. And this is running off the Satiator.
So yeah, we haven't run it off the Satiator, so we don't know.
So far, so good. I had one lockup earlier that was kind of like I was doing the start and ABC thing a lot, and that kind of like locked it up. So trying to soft reset the game. But as long as I don't touch it, it should be fine.
The action replay patch, I think, is still kind of a little bit experimental. Like, people have been having good results, but I don't know if it's like 100% yet.
Oh, I wasn't using the AR patch. I was just doing a normal soft reset trying to do a normal soft reset into the menu of the game. And that was locking up. But you haven't been in the last couple of streams. I'm reiterating for anyone who heard me before, say that I was having problems with the Satiator. I've been pretty smooth sailing with FAT32 formatting. I had my card exFAT formatted before, and I ran into a lot of issues. But ever since I formatted FAT32, it's been pretty smooth sailing. There's been the odd lockup related to using a retrobit controller and not having the controller sync at boot, so the machine wouldn't think that I had an actual controller inserted. There's been stuff like that where I've been able to fix the issue by just plugging in a wired controller. And then there's been aside from that, there's been I don't know, like I was messing around with the Saturn rings menu and making a lot of changes directly to the SD card, and I think I don't know if that fragments it or whatever, but I noticed that just pulling everything off, reformatting the card, and dumping everything back onto the card got rid of any lockup issues that I was having. So anyway,
yeah. So
Gotcha.
I just wanted. So this game, it just came out. Is this a prototype or is this a finished product?
This is a product. This is a finished product that got pulled right before it went to market. There were pre-production silvers, according to my understanding. There were the images that you see online are like the gold CDR discs, but there is a person on one of the groups, Daniel Smith, who is in possession of pre-production silvers of this game, and I think he's the only one who has them. So apparently this was a ready-to-go game.
Yeah, apparently he also has another prototype disc, but I think he said it's the same data on both of them.
Okay, so my point there is, I was going back to what you said about the ABC start reset, is that you that's not a hardware thing, that you have to specifically program that in. There's a SHIRO call that, and if this is a prototype, or a lot of these Saturn devs back in the day were kind of lazy about following Sega spec, like you remember Croc having that weird reset glitch, some other games like that. It could very well be that they didn't implement it properly.
I actually thought about, that was a thought that I had when that happened. I was thinking about how you had to explicitly tell everyone in the competition that that was one of the requirements, right? They had to program that in, that functionality, so that it was...
That's so that Trekkies could eventually put them onto a demo disc. We're hoping to put maybe like one or two. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Trekkies.
I'm just waiting on a trailer from Night of Dragon for Symphony of the Night, and then I should be able to put a demo disc together of about 5 games from the competition and 4 trailers.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually considering maybe doing one, but I just realized I had to send my Saturn because I'm getting it recapped completely and get the FRAM mod, just because I noticed on the white one I use for my captures that it has faint jail bars in some situations. So I'm getting it recapped right now.
I'm doing 4 recaps myself at the moment.
Yeah, I'm hoping this will solve the problem. If not, I'll have to go down the chain and start upgrading cables, and I'm not really fond of doing that.
There's an issue with PAL Saturns, hopefully you've never had to stumble into it, where the final stage of the video output, there's a series of 3-legged capacitors just before you get to the AV port, and they're all drifting out of spec on the version 9 and version 7 motherboards, and you'll end up with the image just wobbling left and right constantly.
So we're locked up. We are locked up here. Either it's taking a really long time to load, or it's locked up. Okay, so last week we were streaming the Fantastic Pinball game, right? And we would get to these screens where it was loading new assets, and it just took forever, right? And reformatting the card and then putting everything back on and just not touching it, that fixed that. But then this is a brand new image that I just added to the card yesterday, and now I'm having these issues. So I don't know.
It could be a loading issue, like a Z.
Yeah, but I mean,
we had that same issue with Z.
I got into this. I got into this and was playing it just fine earlier. So I don't know. Either I wait here and see what happens, or I have to like reboot. We could try that. But
funny story about the crashing thing, or the issues with the satiator. Yeah. When I was making that Fire Pro trailer for Trekkies for that demo disc, I got to certain parts where it was playing the music, it would just lock up like you were skipping the CD, and it'd just be wrestling. It's like dun na 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 over and over again. I was like, oh geez, how am I gonna capture the audio for this?
All right, let's just start fresh and see what happens.
Okay, so a couple things, but I think you already said this is not the first time you played it. But the first time you put a disc image in the Satiator, I think Abrasive says he's not doing it, but I'm not sure if I believe him here, that it's building some metadata or something, because the first time I load any new game, it's always slow.
It is. Yeah, the rings menu actually illustrates that. It actually shows the building of that and the caching of data. Like it actually gives you like a progress.
His explanation.
Oh, what's that?
I probably misunderstood his explanation, because I thought it had something to do with the out.dsc file.
Right.
And Abrasive said it's not that, but maybe it's building some sort of table somewhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna try again. Testing backup cartridge not found. Internal save memory 20 blocks. Enter your password. Don't have one. Yeah. Okay, so press start. We're just gonna try here to go again.
Oh, Derek's in the chat, by the way. Can you unmute Derek, or you're not able to? Okay, there we go.
I'm here. Hello.
Got you. Yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't join us for the columns part, but yeah, we really enjoyed what we played of it. Is there anything you wanted to say that we might have messed up or missed, or completely went over completely?
No, they were very kind words, and I appreciate the the spotlight there. And the only thing I just would want to mention is, obviously, a lot of technical work from me. I mean, I think I've sunk about 215 hours into this already since January 25th. But the translators, right? Because without the Japanese language knowledge, this would just be an exercise in machine translation, right? So those guys, one of them,
it's locked up
here. Fernandez and a couple others, Danthrax 4, who worked with Nanashi on the Cotton 2 translation. He's part of the team as well. Also,
nice. If you could send me those credits, I'll add it to the article.
Sure. Yep. And,
I'm gonna try one more time.
My name is Natsume, so that's all I wanted to mention. But look out for another month or so. Should have the final release. Very excited.
Nice. Yeah, I was playing a little bit. It was really fun.
Right when I started that project, I had no idea what I was getting myself in for.
But hey, you know, did you have any other projects that you're eyeing towards? I know you probably want to take a little break, but
yeah, probably, to be honest, I want to actually play some games.
There.
You mind if I do a little bit of a comment on that Soccer Wars columns?
Sure, go for it.
So we thought that this was just going to be a regular old puzzle game, you know, with a handful of text here and there with a Soccer Wars skin. We didn't realize there were 12 full-length storylines, just as long as like a main chapter, just as like a chapter in the main game.
Wow.
And we didn't, we got totally blindsided by it.
Yikes. Well, whatever next one you guys work on, let me know. I'll help you out in some capacity. I've done some hex editing in the past before, so hopefully I'll be able to contribute in that way. But it's probably gonna be a little bit more than that.
I really want to go on a Soccer Wars 2, but I know that's gonna be a very big project, and I'm hoping maybe even just do like a one chapter and get the ball rolling, see if almost like a pitch. But we'll see. Yeah,
I'll take a look at an image for that, and I'll go through the hex. I'm actually slacking though, because I think I told Night of Dragon I'd start converting some of the Resident Evil cutscenes, the uncensored ones, to the Cinepack standard to put in there, and I need to follow Trekkie's guide, but I just haven't had the time to sit down and set up the whole virtual machine environment. So. But we'll see.
We've all got a backlog, the size of the Old Testament. So it's okay. Yeah. Everybody gets it.
I finally managed to get the translations to work on my Rhea. Finally found the perfect combo of software that enabled them to boot first time. So I've started playing Grandia.
Nice. That must be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing Grandia a lot. Thanks again, Trekkies.
Yeah, the first track in the score, just goosebumps, just so damn good. It feels like this was something I should have played many years ago.
Yeah, did you pick up? They actually released a vinyl record of that, like a box set of that game. It's pretty sweet.
For all of the plastic crap I subject my partner to, I shall not start collecting vinyls on top of that. She's already seen, like, I've got 5 Saturns in the back room in various states of disrepair.
Fair enough. Yeah, I usually just collect a lot of the records and stuff mostly, because at least Saturn related ones I mostly go for, just because I think it's really cool.
I'm currently looking at a long play of a JRPG from Hudson Soft that obviously never came out in the West, called Tengai Makyo Dayan no Moku Shiroku. And it looks really cool.
Is that the RPG?
Beautiful graphics with sort of like almost like Sakura Wars style cutscenes, but they're for the fights. Hard to describe.
Interesting. I'll have to give that one a try. You'll have to send me a link to that, because I do not know. I'm not going to be able to remember that name.
I only stumbled into it because I was looking for the Tenchi Muyo games, because obviously I'm a big weeb and I like to see all the games.
Ooh, I love Tenchi Muyo.
Dude, Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi Universe, damn good times. As a kid, I thought Tenchi in Tokyo was okay, but coming back to it, it's aged poorly.
Oof, yeah. I really need to finish watching that series. I think they just did a new thing for that too recently.
But there's always a new Tenchi coming out, but I'm afraid the magic is long since gone. Much like Neon Genesis.
Oof, I wouldn't say the magic's gone for that one. We still need Emerald and I are still waiting for 4.0. We're 4.0. We're searching for those cam rips, right?
We got the subs though. We have the subs, but we don't have the cam rip.
Yeah, it's driving us nuts. So we even have like a group chat, and it's like we're trying to hunt it down. Like I have all these web alerts. Just so I get a sniff.
Discord that we have a $5 bounty for the first person to give us the torrent file.
Yeah, I'm so pumped for that. I can't wait to get that movie down. But once they do it, the only reason I want to watch the cam rip is just so I don't get spoiled on it, because I know people on the internet are dumb and like making memes spoilers. So I don't want to, because I know it's going to be a bit different. I don't know if it's going to end the same way EOE did, but we'll have to see.
Yeah,
I've only been partially spoiled looking for this thing, but it's all about which waifu ends up winning in the end. So it's just a stupid 4chan crap. So I managed to avoid anything serious.
I have
Fair
something
enough.
to say that I think Trekkies might be interested in. I don't know. It's CRI related, and that is that Zayden, who is over on the Dreamcast Talk forums, and he runs the DreamPie solution for Saturn, the Netlink zone. He has been working on what's that game? Now it's a Sega Touring Car Championship, right? He's been working on getting the whole thing running on the net, basically forwarding and running on the net, on the Dreamcast Talk service, right? And he's been able to get the forums working. Like you can actually access the forums and type comments and stuff through your Saturn. You can send email back and forth and share saves, and he even got the CRI browser working. And I guess he says that it can play WAV files, which is pretty cool. Like CRI was just doing a lot of weird, cool stuff with, and I guess they built the browser that game's online functionalities runs on. So he's gonna.
Yeah, I think the latest version of the Planet web browser can actually play WAV files and compressed 80PCM ones.
Oh, okay, cool. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just another, version of CRI's browser or their technology. I mean, since they're basically a internal Sega R&D team, but yeah. So it's really cool though that he has that functionality. He said it's going to be ready soon, and folks are just going to be able to. I mean, I know there's not a huge market for that game. Like a lot of folks find it not that controllable, but I mean it's cool. I still these
FMVs are awful.
Well, also they're dubbed. It's like they did studio voiceovers. Like they did the acting, but then they did like studio voiceovers.
I don't understand.
I wonder if this would have been fixed in the official release, because these look really bad.
Well, I wonder what the PC version looks like.
It's the same.
That'd be the comparison.
Just higher res.
Better. Like, look, you could see the keying on their green screen, and the resolution is like potato.
Yeah.
Like imagine.
But PC FMV codecs at this time weren't that great either. Remember, they had to run on potato hardware too, like a 486.
Okay, yeah, but that's beside the point. I'm just saying.
I mean, have you seen Final Fantasy VII's FMVs on PC on the original release? They're significantly worse than the PS1.
The quality of compression. I'm just talking about green screen effects. You could see their halo of green.
Sure. I'm just saying the real thing to see is if it would have been fixed at release is what does the PC version look like? Because that's what got released.
Oh.
Somebody was asking if this works with the mission stick, and I do not know the answer to that. I think Daniel Smith was saying something about it on his group about the mission
I think he
stick.
said he didn't have one.
I don't have a mission stick. I know
nobody has a mission stick.
I'm Saturn Dave, and I don't have a mission stick. But honestly, like I don't have a lot of bulky peripherals. The wheel is like probably one of the only huge bulky peripherals that I have just due to space. Like I have a lot of CRTs, but I don't have space for bulky peripherals.
This reminds me a lot of like Dune. Is that just me getting those vibes?
Oh, I'm getting the Dune vibes for sure. Like you get.
I think the biggest vibe is how they're both awful. So I think that's the biggest vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, but there's like a whole contingent of folks who love that stuff. Like, there are folks who love the whole B movie
but
thing.
the movie is like.
Wait, the movie? Do you mean like the miniseries, like the one with Patrick Stewart?
No, wait, is that a miniseries? I thought that was the entire movie, the Dune movie, right?
No, it should have been a miniseries, I think.
I thought that it was. Yeah, I thought it was like a miniseries. The one with Sting in it, right? Isn't Sting in there?
Yeah, that's a miniseries.
Oh, there was a miniseries and there was a movie, wasn't there? I'm getting them confused.
There's like a 2-hour movie.
Gotcha, yeah.
It's with Sting, and then Patrick Stewart's in that one too.
Yeah.
But they changed like a bunch of components, like how the weapons work or something like that.
This game is very FMV heavy though. I will say that. It's 2 discs, right? You know, so you got 2 discs and it's mostly FMV. And it's anybody. I'm not touching anything. Oh yeah, okay, good. We didn't lock up. I was gonna say. Yeah, third time's a charm.
I'm jealous of this game right now because I don't remember seeing any proper 3D full motion space fighters. So I was going to add that element to Scenario, but
there is one. There is one, and it's actually really good. Actually, it's called Darklight Conflict. It was the closest thing we would get to like a Colony Wars on the Saturn.
You also have Stellar Assault.
Oh, Stellar Assault. Now, Stellar Assault reminds me though. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here. Stellar Assault reminds me more of like the Galaxian games, you know, that Namco would put out in the arcade. It's I love Stellar Assault. I think it's amazing. And if we're putting those two side by side, Stellar Assault wins hands down. The Sega Saturn version especially. But to me it's just different. These are more like the like the Colony Wars style games, or like it's almost like Stargate, you know, with the like the B movie kind of FMV cutscenes and stuff.
The one I'm kind of surprised, like, no port seems to have ever been on the table was like one of the Wing Commanders.
Oh yeah, Heart of the Tiger would have been.
You had them on the Sega CD, you had them on the PS1, you even had them on the 3DO.
3DO.
So it's kind of surprising they didn't do a port of at least like the 3DO one.
I know, Mark Hamill, he was amazing in that. I love that game. Number 3.
I mean, if this one didn't get released, maybe it was the same vibe with that. Because didn't SHIRO do the Wing Commanders too?
I thought that was Origin.
I thought they were EA, but I could be. Oh wait, no, that's just who owns it now.
They were EA, weren't they?
No. So before Origin was EA, it was Origin. It was Wing Commander and Ultima were sister series. So I think even Richard Garrett was involved in Wing Commander.
I died.
But at this point in time, I don't think EA had taken over and destroyed Origin yet.
Gotcha. I'm guessing that's where that name, the Origin thing, comes from.
Couple. After they burned both those series to the ground, and all Origin has left is its name, and that's what they use.
Gotcha. What do you say, C?
Oh, I was just mentioning how a couple minutes ago you were talking about Tenkai Makio. The reason why it looks like Sakura Wars is because they both have the same producer. That was a franchise he made before he went on to work on Sakura Wars.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't mention that in the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's called. It is for East Division. Okay.
Yeah, and so there's only been like I think a Super Nintendo game got translated, but I think that's been the only one that's ever come over to the West.
I gotcha. Yeah, because I remember I mentioned that. I didn't know the Japanese name of it though. I mentioned the translation video for the first one.
And I died again. This level is much harder. Like that first level was like easy peasy. This one is like throws you right in, and you've got like enemies flanking you on all sides. I'm gonna have to get good here.
I like this comment by Michael C. This game actually looks like a potato.
Like a potato.
Darling, sorry to interrupt, but some amazing breaking news. The Fenrir 21-pin model is now finished and ready for ordering in May.
Oh, that is good news.
Really?
Dead.
Same
Nice.
price point? I wonder. It should be, right?
Or if he gets it to the same price as the 20-pin, because he dropped that recently to celebrate how many he sold.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'll have to get another Saturn and plug it in there.
But as far as I'm concerned, the compatibility is equal to, in my experience, the Rhea and the Phoebe. So, you're losing that button functionality for cycling discs. But he can implement it via Wi-Fi interface, which is what he's planning in the future because it's got a more powerful FPGA.
Nice.
Wait, what do you mean? With the Wi-Fi of what?
There's a Wi-Fi
So the
module.
chip for the... Yep.
Oh, well, that's cool. So you can.
HTML server on your phone and then just type in a command to swap disks or something.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's cool. I was thinking that you just have it as like a disk transfer, so you just like instead of moving, you just turn your Saturn on and you just like transfer files like through the Wi-Fi.
If it's able to do that, that'd be fantastic. Get a new build every time there's a new update to some fan translation. You can just hot swap it.
It'd be amazing if
That'd be
it could
kinda
have you could have like an SMB server on your like NAS or something like that, and it could just like beam data. I don't know if that
That'd
would
be insane.
That would be insane. You know.
It'd be nice.
Imagine that.
For the PS2, sadly for me, the latest version of OPL has broken my SMB network, so I'll have to revert to the old one or figure out what's wrong.
Oh yeah.
I need to set up an SMB. I only have a NAS set up for my Plex server.
I have an SMB set up on. Funny enough, my Wii, my old Wii, has like an SNES emulator, and not all of them do this, but a lot of the creators put an SMB capability, like network capability, into their emulators, and I just pipe in all of the Super Nintendo ROMs off of my network. That way, I can have them, all in one place.
Be able to keep on your hard drive.
Can I ask you to go over on Twitter and give Sed some words of appreciation, because this is actually like a bit of a feat.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
As soon as I put this controller down.
Yeah. I know so many people were waiting on the Fenrir specifically for the 21 pin, because I think the 21 pin is supposed to be the more common model.
Yeah.
Well, that's a funny question, isn't it? Did the Saturn sell more units at the beginning when there were still 20-pin models, or had they already transitioned to the 21-pin early enough in production before the sales flatlined?
I think for Japan that might be the case, that there might be more in that, but besides that, probably sold more of the. I don't know, because the white ones are pretty common. Those are later models.
21 pins are found way more frequently in the wild, because even there's model ones that are 21 pins.
I think by the time like they released in the US, I think even like the US model ones are like the later revision that it's one board with the 21 pin.
I think you're right.
So I think it's only the very early Japanese ones are that one where you open it up, it's just like it's a mess of boards where like the MPEG slot is on a separate board, the power supply is mounted to the top of the thing.
Yes.
Like that's
Tiny
really, I
little
think,
daughter
only
boards.
the very early Japanese ones.
I have one of those. I have an American.
Actually,
super rare.
Oh no.
Yeah, a friend of mine has a US Model 1 that is a 20 pin, actually, now that I think about it. But
This game plays
very
like a
uncommon.
potato.
It is a potato.
This game is a potato.
Maybe it was good. It wasn't released.
I don't know.
Okay, guys, this game outside the cutscenes actually looks really good, and I just want to point out, it looks like we almost have overlapping transparencies when two shields from two different ships are on the same part of the screen. That's more difficult than it sounds.
Nerd. I'm just kidding. No, you're right. You're right.
That was a good one. It's okay, we can laugh.
Yeah, I'm a nerd too. Just.
Exactly.
You're the one playing this game,
this
Dave,
game
so
were
you have
better.
no right to speak about being a nerd.
Well,
If they're writing this game better, the central gameplay loop in this game looks fantastic.
yeah.
I'll tell you
but
this, the
my
guy in the
weapon is
top left of
overheating.
your screen is a lot better than the cybermorph chick asking you, where did you learn to fly?
What did you learn to fly? Well, okay, so like with bulk slash, that's gonna be the annoying thing with that. It's gonna be like, go forward, go forward, go forward.
It's almost like you're desensitized because it's Japanese. It doesn't register.
It doesn't
right?
register.
It's like,
I'll do the
command.
voice for everybody. I'll be like, go forward, go forward. That's what they need me to do the voice for.
All right, I'm gonna try again. This time, just in ship mode, like Star Fox.
Starfax.
Starfax.
Starfax. You're gonna get the Starfax.
You're gonna get the Carfax.
Starfax.
Well, that's what they get when in Star Wars. They don't get the Carfax. They get the Starfax.
There's
Wah,
a chance
wah.
that I know there's a podcast
Or if you're from
called
Buffalo,
Dynasty.
you might say it that way.
Fantastic.
I didn't get that
James.
con.
Oh, I've got a friend who does a podcast in the States, and he's got a fantastic smoky accent, and I've recommended he try it for maybe the navigator or for the intro-outro sort of male voice.
That's good. Sounds good. Is his name Sam? The SSG?
Oh, yeah, we should
Go
have multiple
forward.
dubs for this
Go
game.
forward.
Like, just multiple fan dubs.
The Shiro bulk slash voice acting.
Yes, all the waifus are voiced by the Shiro cast.
Oh God.
That would be terrible.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Hey,
I can't
Pat,
even
you
sound.
want to record the audio, the dubbing for Kayama for Columns 2? What do you say?
Down.
Everybody's like, you got McLovin. Just kidding. Pat hates
I just
that
like doing
comment.
McLovin accent the entire time. I had to sound more nasally than that, and his voice a little bit more high.
Party.
Oh, better yet, we get Justin Roland, and he does the voice of like everybody in that game.
He could do it too.
I played Justin Roiland voiced bulk slash. That sounds like a good time.
I don't think I'm going to be playing this for very long.
If we lived in a better world, more voicing would have been done by the original Robotnik voice off the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. There was like some jazz musician, I think, when he wasn't voicing Robotnik.
Oh yeah, no, he has a good voice. You're talking about the first one or the one in Saturn? Okay.
The one from Saturn, he sounds like he smoked nothing but Marlboro since childhood.
I think he's a pretty famous voice actor.
Winnie the Pooh, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Peter Cole, Peter something.
What? That voice literally gave me nightmares as a kid.
Yeah, I like it. He does a lot of really interesting things. He's still voicing stuff to this day too. It's pretty crazy.
And it seems the chap who plays Liquid Snake is always up for voicing things. Have you seen his YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, Cam Clark.
With David Cater.
My favorite thing is when he went to go to get order from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
With that.
Brother.
Man, I need to play the MGS series again.
That'd be the most amazing fan project to see MGS, even if it's just like the original demo section with the loading bay and then the helicopter pad just running on a Saturn engine, see what that version of the graphics would be like.
I think there's a really key on rumor like focused on rumor that apparently Metal Gear Solid code passed through the Saturn at one point. Now I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing they mean that they tried it.
Obscure hardware. He wanted to make it for the 3DO, if I recall correctly.
The MGS one.
Yes, I think it was originally meant to very early. This is years before the MGS you and I know came to fruition, but it was originally, I think, conceived as a 3DO game.
Yeah, because I mean he did release Police Knots on there, so it wouldn't surprise me that, because Konami at that point was doing multi-plats anyways. Like Police Knots was on the 3DO and Saturn and PlayStation. So what I'm guessing happened.
On the Sega CD recently as well. Oh, that's so good.
Oh man, I love Sinatra. Sinatra and Police Knots are hands down my favorite visual novels, or I guess action adventure games.
Hell yeah.
Point and click. I don't know.
I just need.
Notice the avatar icon, or whatever people call it these days.
Avatar? Oh yeah, your icon,
mine.
Police Knots logo.
Oh, it's really great, that RetroWare TV, little English patch, like translation. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like a little mini documentary, 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
If you've never seen it, oh, it's so great. All about the game, Police Knots, the translation patch, everything.
Oh, there's actually a documentary on that?
Yeah, it's very old at this point. Maybe, I mean, very old relative to, the internet and YouTube in general. But I think I've seen it, no joke, I don't know, 50 times. It's one of those good things to put on when you go to bed. Just leave it on the TV, fall asleep.
Is it a fan thing?
Yeah, RetroWare TV.
Okay, I never watched it. I'll have to see that then. I know there was a thing.
Great.
That's it.
I did that. Yeah, because I think one of the things that I always watch all the time when I'm bored is the My Life in Gaming RGB videos. I already know all about it, but I'll still watch it for no reason whatsoever.
Oh yeah, they're great. It's the production quality, right?
The production quality is great, but the videos are so quickly outdated. There's always a new breakthrough in RGB tech and whatnot.
Yeah, it's pretty nostalgic though, because I think back to when I first started getting into it, and it's like, because those are the videos I watched when I was getting really serious about like getting PVMs and stuff back in like 15 and 16.
Just before they went truly mental price-wise.
Yeah, I was looking online. Apparently, a bunch of them are like in the 700 plus range for just standard def sets.
Somebody drove one approximately 100 miles from the English North to my part of the country in the Midlands, and he'd had it in some sort of outdoor storage crate for years, so it just completely rusted on the inside.
Oof, that's a big rip right there.
Some sort of atmosphere, and he had loads. He received a bulk lot from a hospital that cleared them out of a natal ward, and he just hadn't put them in the sort of atmosphere they needed to maintain them.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that in England.
I messaged him on eBay saying, "Hey, I'm interested, but you know, I'm planning out the route to get to you." He's like, "Oh, I'll drive it to you. By the way, are you a medical student?" I said, "No, I'm just a person with no life and a lot of love for old games."
Hey guys, we're gonna have to cut this off early because I think that my daughter woke up from her nap early. Normally she sleeps past 2:30, but again, I'm not gonna put any more time into this right now because I just, like you said, Pat, it's running like a potato, and and I do, you know, I agree that it's like, you know, they had something here. I think that it could have been better, but you know, the difficilty is
maybe that's what they thought. They looked at it as like, this is a potato, just stopped.
Yeah,
you can kind of
let's not do this.
Hardware, on the background, like if you're paying attention to the nebulas, there's just these graphical effects that are like, obviously they didn't have full transparency control here, so they just make do with what they had.
Exactly.
The longer you stare at it, the more you see the flaws. But that just it's probably because I'm used to thinking about this stuff. But I can see this getting old very quickly.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it looks like they're not really using VDP2 for background layers. It's just black.
Yeah, and then just the stars are just like,
and then
little
like
sprites.
everything else is just kind of being drawn with like VDP1 sprites.
Yeah.
That could explain how they're getting away with some of the transparencies, because VDP1 can do them. It's just where you get into trouble is trying to blend with both layers. So that could be what they're doing there and why it's working.
So when you get hit and the background flashes white, you actually see the black outline of all the sprites in the background.
Right, probably because it's paletted and they didn't get the colors right or something.
I think it's just an April Fool's joke, 25 years in the making or whatever it is.
25 years in yeah, it's just a really elaborate April Fool's joke.
April Fool's, this game sucks.
Yeah, but hey, as far as gaming history preservation goes, I'm glad that it's out there. I'm glad folks can play it and make their own make their own decisions about whether they like it or not. And again, you know, it probably would benefit from like, you know, I want to, when I get all of the images that I'm going to put on my final SD card for my satiator, I'm just going to kind of like set it and forget it. But again, when I'm like taking the card out and putting new images on and constantly swapping and swapping out, I think that's when it kind of causes problems with it. So we had a couple lockups, but I mean, so far it's been okay. So one of the things I did was actually I removed the backup cartridge in the backup cartridge slot, and so maybe that was part of the issue. I don't know, but remains to be seen. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm sorry that we have to cut this a little short. Again, it was almost a 2-hour stream, so that's good, and we had plenty to talk about on the news segment. So thank you, everyone.
We'll have a long first section.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for the projects you're working on. Thanks for reaching out to us and allowing us to boost your signals on that. We're really impressed with the work you guys are doing and hope you'll continue. And until next time, it's Saturn Dave and Trainoco reminding you must play Sega Saturn. And thanks for joining us. Until next time, this is us signing out.